Um, this is, I don't even know, just nostalgia. So I was playing a video game. I downloaded or subscribed, not downloaded. I subscribed to PlayStation Plus, and then I downloaded some games, and I've been streaming some games. But it gave me access to some games I haven't played in a long time, and that kind of got me, going down memory lane. Bittersweet. Um, Things I used to do with my little brother, games I used to play when I was with my ex-wife, things we were into, time shared, so on and so forth. So it kind of got me in my feelings. But at the same time, the cool thing is, like, I'm so excited for my kids to be here this summer and have access to this stuff, and to, like, spend that time with them and have the memories with them. Just the same way I'm reminiscing. I used to play Civilization with my brother, so we used to compete. He introduced me to that. Also, this game XCOM, we used to do that. So now I got access to stuff like that. I'm probably reach out to him and see if we can hop on and have some games for old time's sakes. But ultimately, I've never been a video game person. Like, I've only really played if it was somebody else introduced me to, or because other people was doing it. I never really been investing in video games. And now I'm looking at myself like 43, trying to get into video games, because when you own your time, like, you gotta find a way to occupy it. And like, that's cool. It's different stuff. So anyway, and then that got me kind of, even with the nostalgia element, thinking about the music I used to listen to. And when Nas came out with Stillmatic, he had this song, I think it was on Stillmatic. Anyway, so don't even worry about the album, like, because I know I listen to a lot of Nas and I can mix shit up. I just know at that time, but I was listening to different Nas albums at the time as well. But it was around the time when he had his beef with Jay-Z, and it was a song, Second Childhood. I think it's on Stillmatic, but I'm not certain. But it's kind of like, having the day that I'm having, it really resonated with me. Like, maybe that's where I'm at, like, in my second childhood, getting back to playing video games and connecting with family and doing shit like that, like I used to when I couldn't appreciate it the way that I appreciate it now, because I've experienced so much loss now, which is also something that I reflect back to as far as something from my childhood. One of my favorite movies was The Five Heartbeats. And the line that always kind of stood out with me is about Duck saying he on his way to becoming a great writer because of the suffering. Because anybody who's seen the movie knows, so I ain't in it. But it's kind of like, I feel that I've suffered a lot. People in relationships that I care about not being present. People that I would literally sacrifice my life for not giving a fuck about me. That's hard. It's a hard pill to swallow. It really is. And also knowing that certain people, and I guess, I might as well not say people and just say the people that I'm talking about. Shit. So I really have no animosity towards anybody for anything they did, because the more I think about it, especially people that I know really well, I also never, I don't feel like it's an excuse, but I do understand, knowing where certain people came from, the influences they had, the things that they went through, how they could turn out the way that they turned out. So I don't hold it against them, but that don't mean it don't hurt. That don't mean it's not frustrating. It don't mean it's not disappointing for people to take you for granted, for people to take advantage of you, for people to intentionally do things to harm you or set you up for failure when you would never do those things to those people. So, like, most of the very important people in my life, I have kind of had a role where I have always been there for them. but I can't say the same thing in reverse. So that hurts. Recently, my kid's mom told me if I wasn't their dad, she would never fucking talk to me. And that hurt. It did. It hurt a lot because literally, she used to get mad because my ringtone for her was Grenade, but by Bruno Mars. But really, like that song right there really sum up our relationship. Like I'll fucking catch a grenade for her. I'll do anything for her. But she wouldn't do this shit for me. And that's okay. Because I know God has something better for me. And I've learned in all of these other situations that the shit I be wanting for myself really ain't what's best for me, or I would still be in the military. Because that's what I wanted. That's what I planned. That's what I intended on, to get what I got. But he gave it to me without me doing what I planned on doing. So, you know, I wanted so much for Lily to be the one, for my family to be together, for us to do something different and raise our kids the way that, you know, I want my kids to be raised, for me to be the type of father that I want to be. And I still have that opportunity. I just don't have the opportunity to be that with her. So, you know, my little brother CJ, I be having conversations. I got to explain to people when I'm talking about my past and my little brother, like, because like, how does your little brother? Because it is, because I love that nigga, just like my brother. I mean, my biological brother. And even that, like, man, I fuck with Devin. Like, so anyway, I'm having a day and just thinking about the people that are important to me, the absence of those people in my life, and how I don't really want it to be like that. And you know what this next chapter need to look like to make the most of it. There are some people that are not going to be part of it, and that's okay. But for the ones that can be, how to make that happen where it isn't going to end up being something negative. Take into account who they are. Give them the grace to be themselves, but also account for what I know of these people to adjust my approach and my behavior in these situations so that I can either establish or reestablish relationships that are going to be beneficial for me going forward. Because at 7+ decades, you need good people in your corner, you know. So that's what it is, and that's really what I wanted to say. Kind of in my head about, am I entering my second childhood, doing all the shit that I never did when I was a kid, but being in a position to do it, because I hear people complaining about grown men playing video games, and now I find myself playing. I never played video games like that, but now I find myself playing video games because I got the time, because I own my time and I don't gotta be nowhere. So how do you occupy the time, especially when you got focus and concentration issues? I try to watch TV and I end up playing chess or playing spades on the phone, or just drifting off in my thoughts or whatever. It's hard for me to really pay attention, is especially by myself. Now, if I'm with somebody, it's like I could lock in, but you know, I'm trying to be mindful of my situation, who I am, and the changes that I need to make the most of it. And I think that's one of them, that I need to kind of look at the things that have value, apply the understanding that I have of the situation, of the history of some of these people, to understand why they behave the way that they behave, just the same way I would hope that someone would extend me that courtesy. Like, I've been through some shit, so I've made some bad choices. I've made some fucked up decisions. I've done things that a lot of people won't understand, but I understand. But the same way I understand for myself, I understand for my brother Devin, for my brother CJ, for my ex-wife Lily, for my daughters, Alyssa and Marissa and Aaliyah. Like, I understand the other side of it because I try to understand. Unfortunately, well, I can't even say that I even understand. Do I? I got a little bit of an understanding, but it don't make sense to me with my second wife. That's the one I struggle to understand. But like everybody, and that's probably why I don't fuck with her, because I can understand everybody else, knowing what I know of them. But even with everything I know of her, it just don't make sense. I can't make sense of it. But I'm at peace with that. But anyway, like, yeah, I want the people that added value to my life throughout my life to be in my life. The only one that I felt like that's not a realistic possibility is Lily. But everybody else, I'm gonna do my part to have the type of relationships that I want to have with these people, because they do matter. And for whatever I say, like, just two things can be true at the same time. Like, just because I feel like there are things I don't necessarily like about a person, or even if a person did some things wrong to me, like, we human, they human. I forgive, I don't forget, but I don't hold that against people. So yeah, that's where I'm at, just thinking about having a relationships that added value throughout my life, even when I look at little things. And the catalyst was freaking video game, man. Sid Meier's Civilization Revolution, XCOM, The Enemy Within. Those things, I occupied a lot of time and sat on the phone with my little brother playing the game, having these competitions, and that was dope. And hopefully we can do that now, and not just him, everybody else that added value to my life. I appreciate those people. I believe I added value to their lives. In some cases, they might not acknowledge it, but that's okay, because I know what I did. I know what I didn't do. And I still had an opportunity to do my best going forward. So that's what I'm going to do. And I'm looking forward to the opportunity to do that with the people that I care about, except Lily.